All right, boys and girls, so I'm here today with Nicholas Guillen, a 20-year-old barber out of Queens, New York, who has actually grown his business from making about $200 to $500 all the way to about $11K, cutting out of his, he was cutting out of his spare room or his living room. Now he's cutting out of his garage right now out there in Queens, New York. Nicholas, I guess for you, dude, kind of take me through, I guess, first of all, like, how did we get here overall? Like, I know we're working together in the Elevated Mentorship Program. I know you're a private client overall, but how did you kind of like get on this journey from making $200 all the way to $11K?
Well, so when I joined the program, I'm gonna tell you something that stopped me from getting there, and then when it clicked, right? So when I first joined the program, I was being so stubborn. I was trying to skip showcase part. I'm trying to skip this. I'm like, what? This action doesn't even make no sense. Skip. I'm trying to do my own thing. And I'm just wasting time while I was doing that, right? So once I started to actually implement what was being taught correctly and simply focusing on one thing at a time, that's when everything started growing more, clicking more for me. I would say that's definitely one of the biggest things.
Okay. Now, I know you told me before, like, obviously you're in Queens, New York. You were kind of like a beginning barber, or like kind of at that beginning stage in your career when you actually joined. Like, so how long were you cutting before like joining EM? Like, what did you do before EM as a barber? Just like take me through that.
So it's funny you say as a barber, because I was cutting hair not as a barber. I was cutting hair just on the side. You know, I was doing a whole lot of other things. It was like, if my man's at the crib, you want to cut, I bet. Or when I was in college, when I was in the college campuses, I was cutting my friends on the dorms as well, but it was never nothing serious. It was just a side thing.
Interesting. It was like, what were you charging? Was it like $5, $10? Or what were you doing overall?
Nah, I was charging like 30. I was charging 30.
Okay, yeah, you kind of get out there getting it, grinding a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you were doing that for how long? You said like 2 years?
Yeah, about 2 years.
Okay. Well, I guess for you, what kind of made you all of a sudden go from like, I guess, not really taking it seriously, kind of just doing like a even side thing, to like actually like, okay, I'm gonna actually invest, join this mentorship program, like scale my business. Like, what happened overall?
All right, I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. So I was playing college basketball, right? And I was having a good season, everything was good, but I really didn't like that I had to depend on like a lot of other people that I felt like weren't on the same timing as me. And I'm like, bro, I'm about to do something that is straight dependent on me. Because basketball is like, I could have 30 points and lose, but I still lost. So I'm like, all right, if I start a business, I'm gonna use the skill I already have, because I'm already pretty good at barbering, and that's gonna be fully on me. Like, I can't blame nobody else. If I'm winning, if I'm losing, that's on me. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna start doing this, depend on myself, and that's that.
Interesting. So like, it was more like you just wanted more control. You didn't want, like, again, to like have people like, I guess, dictating your success. And then so you joined the program. I mean, did you have hesitations? I mean, obviously, again, too, you weren't. It wasn't like you were cutting a barber shop. You're cutting a home studio. Like, or you're cutting in like your living room, legit wise, right?
Yeah.
So like, did you have hesitation to join? Did you have like doubts? Like, what was kind of going through your head when you first joined?
So the way that everything was worded and put into, because I knew exactly what I want. I knew exactly the type of life I wanted to live. I knew everything I wanted. So I'm gonna tell you this, right? Before joining the program, I felt a little bit comfortable. So I planned on spending all my money anyways. I wanted to go broke and force my way to come back up. So I'm like, I might as well knock two birds in one stone right now. And I just said, fuck it, let's do it.
Wait. So you were gonna spend all your money regardless. What were you gonna spend your money on? Like, do you have an idea? You were just gonna blow it?
I was just gonna blow it. And I'll force my way to come back up.
Okay, maybe not the best idea right there, but I get you where you're going right there. Okay, so like you joined, obviously, like you're down to your like last $200 overall. Like what was kind of going through your head? Like did you kind of get like feel a little lazy at first? I know you said you weren't really following everything to the T, right? I think I would expect if you go all in, you're down to your last 200, like you'd be actually pushing this thing forward. Like what got everything to click for you, and like why were you kind of like, I guess, not taking it serious at first?
Nah, yeah. It's not that I was not taking it serious. It's that I'm trying to pull half court shots before I could form shoot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to skip all that. I'm like, bro, what? Action, I need clients today. So I'm trying to skip all that. But once I learned I was wasting time, it was just like, all right, let's follow this. And I mean, when I'm down on my last $200, I don't care about sleep. I don't care about nothing else in the world. I just care about the program, watching this at 2 times speed, 3 times a day. So I feel like having my back against the wall really brought a lot of hunger out in me.
Because I know for a lot of people, they might get like a little bit more, like obviously people react to like their back against the wall and different. It's like the fight or flight thing. Some people might get like their tail between your legs. Some people like, I think majority of people like, all right, I got to make shit happen. Like, what was your process? So you started off at 200 to 500. Take me through the growth. Like when did you actually start seeing like your income start taking leaps and bounds, I guess?
All right, so when it started taking leaps, one thing I began to understand I was cutting a lot of high school kids around the time. So one thing I began to understand was that every time I cut a new person out of one of these high school friend groups, none of them have a good barber because they would have already been going to their man's barber. So once they come to me, I'm like, yo, all I need to do is flex his cut and I'm gonna get all of his friends to come. And then I also understood when I post them on my reels, I have to make them look good so that they want to repost it. I'm like, I bet. So I was just doing a whole bunch of before and after transformations with all the high school kids from around, and I was just going crazy. I was getting all the high school kids. That's when I started to see my income really grow, and I'm like, all right, once I take over this friend group, I take over that friend group, I take over the high school, it spreads to the next high school, I bet, let's go.
Yeah, you're just kind of like playing Monopoly at that point in time too, because it's like, all right, let me just go get the high school kids in and take over that friend group.
Yeah.
I guess for you, like okay, so you had that in December, because it's January right now. December last month, you made 11K overall, and it was like, I guess for you, making that leap from like doing the 200, 500 per month all the way to 11K. How did that feel, seeing that like happen, or seeing that result in your business? Like, what went through your head overall?
I don't know how I feel. I feel like I'm still not even taking it in. I'm still so just focused and like wanting more. Because if you see in my elevator mentorship, like my bio, my goal is 30K a month. That's when I was making 200 a month. I'm like 30K. That's it. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing else. So I'm still in that same mode. I haven't really per se enjoyed it. Of course, like cool, I do a little more, but I'm still just focused, honestly, realistically.
Yeah, you're more just like focused on the goal. It's like, all right, cool. That it's like, of course this was supposed to happen. Like, I'm on par with things, but I'm like not settling right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know you cut, like, obviously you were cutting in your spare in your living room, and then you moved it to like a home studio in the garage, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Like, I guess why did you make that move overall? Like, what was the thought process behind there?
So one, I felt like my parents were like pocket watching, so I'm like, let me get up out of here. But I didn't want to pay for no booth rent, and I had a garage that was like a complete dump. So I'm like, damn, bro, I have to clear this out. So I spent damn near the whole summer just clearing it out. I'm taking out like the big trash bags, like 10 of them. I come back into the garage and it looks like nothing changed, and I'm like, bro. So I was just clearing that out. Once I cleared it out too, now I'm like, damn, bro, now I have to clean this and I have to renovate it. So it was just crazy. But I was cutting. I'm about to actually show you right now.
Sure.
I was cutting right here with a dog pamper pad as my tool mat,
Yeah.
charging $50 and $60. So I'm like, bro, imagine if I moved down to
You said you were charging $50 and $60 right there.
right there, yeah.
That's ridiculous. And again, dude, all just from like, again, to getting these clients in, social media wise, scaling up.
Yeah.
That's wild, dude. And then what are you charging right now? I know we're talking about price increase right now, but what are you charging right now for a cut?
Right now I'm at 70 to 90.
That's crazy, dude. And like, you started at like what, $30? $30? Mm-hmm. That's still wild. Okay, for you, like, I know you said like obviously your parents might have been pocket watching. How do your parents feel about you, like, and your business as a barber? Because obviously like things have grown like pretty quickly to where, again, maybe like 12 months ago it's like still a side thing, and now it's like really the main thing for you. Like, what do they think about like your business right now?
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty supportive. My pops, he helped me a lot with the garage. He built a lot of stuff too, so they've been pretty supportive. The only thing they were just upset that I stopped playing basketball, because they were like, yo, why are you gonna stop playing basketball? But once everything started to come in, they're like, I mean, it's working. So
yeah, was that hard for you to like stop playing? I know, like, obviously playing sports and having a dream like growing up, like, was that hard for you to like let go of, like going with barbering? Was that an easy decision? Like, what was going on with that?
it was hard because I kind of felt like I'm giving up on something I'm very talented at, but I wanted money now. So I'm like, bro, like, what are we talking about? And then just dealing with people that weren't on the same type of mind frame as me was very, very frustrating to me. So I'm like, bro, I'd rather just isolate than deal with this every day. And I felt like it was actually lowering me being surrounded around. I don't even mean to say like people that were, I don't think they was thinking how I was thinking. I'll just put it that way.
Sure.
So I wanted to just get away from that. Like,
Sure.
Basketball, my connection with basketball was, that part hurt, but it felt good to disassociate from all the other BS.
Sure. Like be able, again, to like be able to grow your own business, be able to do your own thing, be in control of your stuff, not like, again, too caught up in the bullshit overall. I guess for you, like you know, reflecting over time, working together, I guess over like the last like 10 or so months, what's been like that biggest lesson that really helped you grow the business overall?
I really like the lesson. It's not in there no more. But the mindset section, I believe it was like module 2 when I had joined, and it was talking about like being in alignment with what you want. So I understood certain of my personality traits were blocking things that I wanted out of life. Just money aside. So as far as like I was closed off to people and I wanted to be more extroverted, but my actions don't show that. So I realized I had to align my actions with everything that I wanted, whether that's life, whether that's for my relationships, and most importantly, for my business. So if I'm not investing in my equipment, if I'm not working every day towards growing the business, if I'm not studying, if I'm not editing content, if I'm choosing to be outside, if I'm choosing to go back to old habits, then what am I aligning with? You know what I mean? Yeah. So that was one of the things that really clicked. So I make sure everything I do aligns with what I want. Everything I do has to make sense. That's one big thing that I took from the last 10 months.
I guess for you, like also thinking about like, what are some non-negotiable like habits? I know again too, like aligning yourself is a big mindset, but what are some just like non-negotiable habits you had to develop in yourself? Because like I'm a big believer, man. Like again too, none of us have personal problems. None of us business problems. We have personal problems that bleed into the business. And like again, show me your habits, and I'll show you your results at the end of the day, right? So for you, like what are some non-negotiable habits you've had to adopt?
Yeah, some non-negotiable habits are definitely going to the gym and making sure I don't put bullshit in my body. And the reason that's non-negotiable to me is because when you're growing your business, there's so many times where you feel like you don't see your growth. There's not visible growth, heavy on visible, because there's still going to be growth that's underlying. But sometimes you don't see that actual growth. So that could get very demotivating if you're not winning in other aspects. So the gym is an easy win. It's an easy win. Like you did your workout, you're good. And you're seeing your progress. You're getting stronger. You lifted 5 more pounds than last week. So it's a way to keep myself winning. That's a non-negotiable for me.
It's just like, again, too, stacking like those just small wins can do business hard at the end of the day, right? Like, it's, again, too, like you said, you're not going to see immediate results in anything. It's just like the gym. Like, you're not going to go to the gym, try to eat clean one day, and all of a sudden, like, show up with a six-pack. It's like consistent effort over an extended period of time. I guess for you, like, what's been like the biggest challenge you faced since we started working together? And I guess how did you overcome that challenge?
I felt blocked creatively. My creativity felt blocked. So what I began to do was, one, exposing myself to new things. You feel me? We do our day-to-day every day. And this goes back to the mindset, the mindset program that you had. It was like we do the same, like we're routine. You know what I mean? So where do we get that time to get new things into our brain or new ideas? So I just started exposing myself to new things. I started doing things out of my routine, started doing a little more spontaneous things. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I would do, to expose myself to new people, new ideas, new ways of thinking. And another thing that I would do is I would ask myself a question, whatever the problem was, right? And I would have to answer 20 responses. And the reason I would do that is because your first 5, maybe even 10 responses are going to be normal responses, right? And then after that, you really start to have to think outside the box with what you're going to say. So boom, right? How to get stronger. You go to the gym, you eat good, you sleep well, boom, your regular responses. Then you really got to start thinking outside the box, like, yo, how do I get stronger? Even if it's an outlandish response, steroids, but it's out of the ordinary, you know what I mean? So I would do that with, every day I would do that with the question and expose myself to new things. And then before I know it, it's like, I have this idea, I have that idea, my mind just quick, creative. You feel me? I'm not in that box no more. Yeah, that's a challenge I overcame.
Just like again to like training your mind overall to like when you see a problem, think creatively around it, right? Don't just get stuck on it, or don't think, oh, I can't figure this out. Like just start already training your mind to like think again to, like you said, outside of the box on that thing. I guess for you, like if you could go back to the day before you started working or started inside of our program, like what like I guess advice would you give yourself knowing what you know now?
I would tell myself to follow the instructions and stop being so arrogant, because it's arrogant to think that me, who has just started barbering, hasn't done shit in barbering, knows more than you. That's arrogant to think. So I would tell myself, stop being so arrogant and listen to the instructions, because they know better. And that's why you paid this money for this course, because you're learning from people that know what they're talking about, who've gotten results time and time again for a bunch of other people.
It's just kind of the New York in you, dude. You know, the New York swagger at the end of the day. But I guess for you, man, what we could do next overall, like I want you to like maybe take like a minute or two, okay? And I want you to think of something that you want to be able to tell the viewer, like again to maybe the barber who's watching this on the other side of the screen right now. I want you to give out whatever message that you feel like is right for them to hear right now, right? Could be again too about like growing their business or whatever it may be. But like, what is your message to that barber that's sitting on the other side of the screen? I'll give you a minute to think about it real quick. While Nicholas is thinking about that, overall, like again too, if you are interested in working with us in our mentorship program, like Nicholas has been, and get some one-on-one help to grow and scale your business, like Nicholas has gotten from $500 to $11K per month. What I'll do is I'll put a link down below for you guys to go and book a 15-minute call with my team. On that call, we'll take a look at your business, see if and how we can help you overall. We'll show you a ton of social proof on that call, and set you up with a correct game plan on how to grow and scale your business. So, Nicholas, for you, what do you got for them?
So I would say, and you say this all the time, stop avoiding the work. You feel me? I have videos I have to edit today that I don't want to edit. I hate editing. It's annoying. Yes, I get it. Sometimes you just want to get the cuts out the way. You don't want to record. You have to record. You got to do all these things. You got to do all these things because that's the difference between the barbers who scale and the barbers who don't. Because the days right now, right, I don't feel like editing. There's going to be a barber who feels like editing, and he's going to edit that video, and he's going to have his notes while he's editing, and he's going to post it. And if I don't do that, he's going to take those clients. So anytime you feel like not doing something, you got to understand everybody else feels like not doing it. And that's where the difference is made. That's where the separation is made. Definitely, that's one thing I got to say. Like, create that separation through the things you don't want to do, because nobody else wants to do it. We all feel the same. We all got emotions. We all got feelings. We all got a girlfriend who argued with us. We all got into an argument with our parents in the morning. That has nothing to do with growing the business at all. You still got to do it. That's all I got to say to them.
Just do the work, dude. Simple as that, right? Like everyone's got the same problems. Everyone's going through their own shit, but everybody got to show up and do the work. Nobody wants to do the work. Love that.
And another
dude,
thing,
go ahead.
I'll say you got to become a little bit numb. You got to become numb to the bullshit. You got to become numb to either, listen, because we all got personal problems, right? I'm probably dealing with personal problems right now. You could let it bleed into your business, but guess what? Like, I have 4 appointments today. If I was to cancel those appointments because I feel sad, it's like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, you can't let that bleed into your business. The best thing to do would be have things in order in the first place. But if things aren't in order, separate it. Like, definitely separate it. Do not make excuses. Do not try to if you're mad at something else, don't bring a bad vibe to your clients. Stay professional, be numb to it, block it out, focus on what you got to focus on, and you'll be good. Like, definitely you'll be good.
Yep, lock in basically. Well, Nicholas, dude, I appreciate you coming on also onto this customer interview, and very proud of you as well too. Again, to scaling up also in Queens, New York, and also dude, doing it out of like your home, because I know a lot of people always have doubts about that, about like, oh, I don't know if I can scale up. I'm cutting in my house, and like Nicholas is a prime example of what can happen again too if you focus, do the work, and actually push yourself. So Nicholas, thank you so much. Super excited to see what's coming next for you as well too.
Thank you.